Hey folks, it's Mr. Max again. It's been a while I didn't make a video because I've been busy doing insurance jobs. So I had to delay some of my auction cars. Now I have this Volkswagen I started working on since I think January, but I had to delay that to get rid of all these insurance jobs that came in. Now I have this Volkswagen I'm gonna be working on now. Let me show you what's happening. Okay, I was backing out and I caused this dent over here. So I have to fix that now. There was no dent there before, but I caused that dent backing into it. So now I'm gonna try to keep the repair small. I won't paint the whole quarter panel. So when I do my work here, I bundle work, and when I'm gonna paint, I wanna paint like from here to here, that line. I'm gonna stop the clear in that line, somewhere around that line. So I'm gonna go all the way from here, instead of going up here. I'm not gonna go up there. All right. So I'm gonna show that and how I'm gonna take care of this dent to keep it small instead of making it a big project. Then I have to paint the whole quarter. So I'm gonna take the light off and I'll pop this bumper away from the quarter. All right. So I'm gonna have to gain access to inside here. I remove this finish panel out the way so I could use my my dolly and my hammer to get that dent as smooth as possible out, so I don't have to put a lot of Bondo. Okay, so I'm going to show that. So let me get the tail light off and this finish panel. Okay, so once I do that, then I'll show what I'm going to do to get rid of that dent. All right, so stay tuned. All right, so this is a dolly and this is the hammer. I'm gonna have this in the back on the inside. So I'm gonna, push that out, hit the panel out, and then I'll use the hammer with that. So while I'm gonna use the hammer on this, the dolly will have to be in the back on the other side, put some pressure on it, and I'm going to use this side to hit here and level that out so I don't have to put as much body filler. All right, so let me show you what I'll do. Actually, I needed someone to hold the camera inside here, but anyway, you still get an idea. So I'm gonna tap the dent, try to tap it out with the dolly. Okay. Alright, so that's pretty much good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sand this area like here. I don't want to come too close to this line. All right, I keep everything low. So I'm gonna sand this area, and I'm not gonna use the grinder. I'll tell you why. If I use the grinder, this little dent here, the work area is going to become big. So I want to keep it as small as possible. So I have 180 grit. Just sand that by hand. So remember the dent was right here. Okay, so I'm gonna blow that off. I'll wipe it off, and then I'll put the body filler. Okay, and when I do the body filler, to sand it, I'm gonna use water. The reason why I'm using water, so I don't want this repair to become too big, because I'm not painting the whole quarter. And okay, yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do now. So let me get rid of this dust, and I'll put some Bondo. All right, so I'm gonna mix that Bondo. It's a little bit, you know. So. A little more hardener. I'm gonna put one more coat, and then I'll do the sanding. And I'm gonna use water for the sanding. Using the 3M 01131. No, that's the yellow. I'll let that dry. I'll give it a half an hour. Then I'll sand it. I'm going to use water for this sanding. And the reason why I'm using water, the sand marks from the paper that I'm going to use, I don't want it to, how do I say? I want to keep the sand marks from sanding this low. I don't want to bring it up to, if anything should come over here, it should be 600 grit. 600 grit. I don't want, let's say, I'm gonna use 400 to sand the body filler. All right. So when I use the 400, then the surrounding area, I'm gonna use 600 grit. All right. Okay, so I'll show that in a few. I'll give it a half an hour drying time, and then I'll sand it and prime it so I can paint this car and get this thing out of here. It's been waiting too long because I had I had so much insurance work from since January up until last month, so I got that done. So I'm gonna finish this car here. The color was the color is off. I didn't so now I have to correct that. So I'm gonna, I already have the paint, so I have to add a lighter color to it to get it as close as possible. See, the fender is darker than the door, so I have to do that. So I gotta paint the whole nose again, and I have the front bumper I have to do some work on, but that's about it. And once I clear that up, then I have this van that I gotta go on, work on. It's been waiting since December. I had to delay that to work on a Volkswagen, my wife's Volkswagen Tiguan. So now I have to weld this back up and get this thing going, because it's time. Gotta get this off the machine. All right. So yeah, so that's what's going on. Yeah. So once I'm ready to sand, I'm gonna show that again. All right. Okay. Stay tuned. All right. So I'm ready. I have 400 grit wet, and this is my wooden block that I'm using sometimes. Since this is a flat surface, it's not curvy in this area, so I could use this. All right. This will give me the best finish. That's why I'm using it also. around here, or I could use 1500 if I want to, but 600 will be fine. Let me get that. Anyway, I got 2000. So I do 2000, the surrounding area. Alright, so once it's dry, I'm gonna prime this area, but you know, the prime will be like around here, this area. I won't bring it as far as here. I gotta keep it low, you know. So this area is where the primer is gonna be. When it's dry, I block sand that, and I would 2000 the rest of the quarter up to the line. Alright. So I'll be able to paint the lower part and don't touch it, the top part. But when I'll do the buffing, that's, you know, I will show how I'm gonna paint this, what I'm gonna be doing to make this happen. Instead of painting the whole quarter. If I paint the whole quarter, I have to go all the way up next to the roof, so I don't want to do all that. Alright, so once it's dry, I prime it, and then we'll get this car going again. Alright, so I don't need to show me doing the primer, so okay, so that's it. If I was to do it dry, I was gonna use 180 grit, and 180 grit, the sand marks are a little rougher. So I use 400 grit here, so it's not as bad. The primer will fill in those scratches, the 400 scratches, and then I'll wet sand it with a block, the primer, and then paint. Alright, so that's it again. So we're gonna get to, when I'm ready to paint, I'm gonna show how I'm gonna do this quarter panel here. Okay, alright, see you soon.